continuation of the Lakers' road schedule. It's been a very challenging start to the season for these guys, losing all but one of their first 8 games.
Kevin, it appears to me as though this team has a hangover from last season. They finished poorly at the end of last season, and they're starting poorly here. So I can only...
Season thinking about the disaster at the end of last year, and now it's the responsibility of this coaching staff to get them to move on. That's who has to do it.
And now the Lakers starting group. Kawhi Leonard is out there with David Lee, and it's Vucevic, then it's Harden, and it's Dragic in at the 1 spot.
And one thing about Gordon Hayward, he's an excellent playmaker for a small forward. Averaged over 4 assists a game after averaging over 5 the year before. So you've got to love a scorer who is also unselfish.
Outside Leonard. Lee kicks to Vucevic. Back to Leonard. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. Offensive rebound. Second chance shot. Count the bucket.
And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Getting back to Hayward, the one area where you'd like to see him improve, taking care of the basketball. Averages nearly 3 turnovers a game the past couple of years.
And, Kevin, he's made a concerted effort to be more aggressive on offense while being more efficient as well. So he's got to balance those two, aggression and efficiency.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
There's the pass to Vucevic, and stolen by Drummond. It's tipped. Right side, Dragic to the inside. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Boston ball. Here is Wall. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. It's stolen by Dragic. Lee outside. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
And the Celtics with possession here. Defeated by the Pacers in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, the inability to make threes in that game, because they took a lot of them, I think, is why they ended up on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, they did take a bunch of them. Sometimes you can make up for poor three-point shooting with a strong inside game, but their inside game just wasn't strong enough.
A shot by Hayward, wide open. They get it again. Pass to Drummond. Wall attacking. To the wing right side. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Celtics.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers. They have to be very pleased with Brad Stevens.
And finished off by Davis. There's 1:47 left in the first. Dragic dishes to Vucevic. Dragic kicks to Lee. And Davis sends it back. And now here comes Wall leading the break. Hayward can't hit.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Second shot opportunity. It's laid in by Harden. Harden's got his second bucket.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend, because they just handed him 2 points.
And now the first timeout called here for Boston. Last season for James Harden. was easily his best yet, finished second in the MVP race, put up huge numbers with career highs in points per game scoring. Greg at more than 27 a game.
And also carried that Rockets team that dealt with a plethora of injuries, mainly to Dwight Howard, and second in the league in scoring. I mean, narrowly losing out to Russell Westbrook, who just went on a tremendous tear the second half of the season, and then also finished runner-up in the MVP race.
So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Enes Kanter's checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Gordon Hayward. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And Damian Lillard is subbed in for John Wall. Big group substitution here for the Lakers. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Vucevic. Pierce comes in for David Lee. Wade, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And Knight subbed in for Goran Dragic. There's a minute left to play in the first. Crawford passes to Davis. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two.
And for Harden coming in second in the MVP race, he had a lot of first-place votes, and nobody knew if he or Curry would win the award. In most other seasons, he would have won the MVP.
And for Harden last year, he could have easily have won the MVP, probably would have in other seasons. His big talking point for the award was how he carried the Rockets on his back. And he might have been the most valuable player to his team with the performances he had last year.
Lakers trail by 10. Here's Harden on the wing. He dishes it to Pierce. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Kicks it out to Harden. Rebound Boston. And this matchup with the Lakers, it's their first meeting of the season.
And just couldn't make the most of their meetings last year. Ended up splitting the season series.
Yeah, you know, most teams have games where they wish they could get a mulligan or take it back. Well, last year, their one loss in this series was one I know they wanted back.
Davis dishes to Lillard.
And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Yeah, they're scoring with confidence, Greg, making them count in the early going here.
We've got 13 seconds left in the first quarter. Harden outside. To the middle. They get a hand on it and taken away by Johnson. No luck. And as the first... And one of the rising stars in the NBA is Anthony Davis. His offensive game.
A lot of face-up, you know.
Well, I tell you, you could be here an awfully long time if we're going to list all the different moves Anthony Davis can hurt you with.
Yeah, the brow definitely has the full toolkit available to him, and I say that affectionately. Tools a lot of guys don't learn to use until much later in their careers, Kevin.
Welcome back, everyone, to lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Taking a look at Los Angeles, they've got Dwayne Wade. Pierce is out there with Rudy Gobert. Then there's Brandon Knight, and it's Harden in at the 2 spot. Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Drummond comes in for Anthony Davis. And Gordon Hayward is subbed in for Joe Johnson. Lillard with it. Now Pierce defending. Allen's shot is off.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
And Lillard kicks to Drummond. And he jams it with authority.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Last game for the Lakers, it was a loss to the Magic.
And really, I thought what was the difference in that game? Offensive rebounding, or the lack thereof. A lot of one-and-dones in that game.
Yeah, offensive rebounding to me is all about heart, the willingness to get in there and mix it up, do your work early, get to that inside position. And I didn't see any of that fight from them.
And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
Boston making a switch here. Wall's checked in.
Going back to Andre Drummond, some say there aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by, Wade outside, kicks it to Gobert from 15 feet away, misses off the left iron.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Hayward passes to Cannon. Drummond dishes to Allen. Shot is off. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on him. And that feeling turned out to be correct.
Wesley Matthews checked in for Boston. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. And stolen by Hayward. The finish, throws down the breakaway jam.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
So timeout called here. The first. The Celtics making a switch